going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. Tonight in movie reviews, we're going to take a look at the directorial and writing debut of Stranger Things star Finn Wolfhard and directing writing partner Billy Burke with their summer camp slasher, Hell of a Summer. But don't forget to hit that follow button, hit that subscribe button wherever you are watching. You can check out some recent reviews I put up on my channel, including Dangerous Animals, another Tales from the Crypt double feature, and a look at the pilot episode of the first ever horror trivia game show, Better Luck Than Chuck. Don't miss out on those, y'all. Hit that subscribe button. But let's not waste any time. We are going to dive right on into things here. Hell of a Summer focuses on 24-year-old Jason, who is returning to Camp Pineway for yet another summer to work as a camp counselor. Now, Jason has been pushed by his mom and his younger co-workers at the camp to move on into the next phase of his life, but he refuses to do so. Unfortunately for Jason, it turns out that a killer has targeted Camp Pineway to take out all the counselors that are there the night before all the kids start showing up, and ultimately it's up to Jason to save the day for everyone. There it is, y'all. That is Hell of a Summer. Now, to expand a bit more on that story, this very much invokes a large number of summer camp horror films that we have seen over the years. Even most recently, the actor who plays Jason in this one, Fred Hochberg, was in the Fear Street trilogy. And you remember Fear Street 1976. Don't hate me if I got that year wrong. I think I got it with 1976. But he got a chance to do one of those recently. But also you can see influences from films like Friday the 13th, Sleepaway Camp. There's a lot of your favorite summer camp horror films being felt throughout this film. But it's not just a horror film. Considering Jason is still reluctant to take that next step in life, it's very clear that Wolfhard and Burke have intended for this to actually serve as a coming of age story as well too. Because we see that again at the beginning of the film, Jason's mom is pushing him to go to law school and become a lawyer, and he feels that he can just put that on the back burner because how much longer is he really going to get to enjoy camp? But at 24, he's probably already past that point that he should really be staying here. The problem with that aspect, with the coming of age aspect of this film, is that we don't deliver on anything with it. Given the setup at the beginning, given the way his coworkers talk to him, you would think that we would build towards the end of the film that Jason gets this realization that there's more for him out there, that this experience with a killer at the camp and seeing a lot of his friends and coworkers die would basically push him to find something that he's really good at and something that he really should pursue. But the movie doesn't do that. If anything, it kind of regresses on Jason by the end of the film because the owners of the camp are the first people killed in this movie, and ultimately it ends up kind of hinting that Jason's going to be the one to take the camp over, provided that after all these murders it ends up staying open. I mean, we don't know that for sure, but that's the implication that I was kind of taken from it, and it does feel like it took it a step back after such a promising start with that. I love coming of age stories, but for such a strong opening for that, they really didn't stick the landing here. As for the horror elements, the killer that shows up, spoiler alert, turns out to be two killers. This film very much also invokes the Scream 4 plot line. You should remember that one. That was about Sidney Prescott's cousin, Jill, turning out to be one of the killers behind the new attacks happening in Woodsboro, and she was doing that to gain fame and status. She wanted to become big from being the only survivor from all these murders. Now, Scream 4, while it's my least favorite entry in that franchise, a lot of you love it because of the storyline that Emma Roberts had for Jill in that one. And I totally get that because I do think that's one of the best things about that film. But we also had the emotional attachment and connection to Sidney Prescott. So to see another family member become murderous, betray her, try to kill her friends, and killing her own friends at that point, we felt that deep. We had that connection. The problem here in Hell of a Summer is that our killers are revealed to be two of the camp counselors that are there with Jason with the same motivations as Jill in Scream 4, but the bigger issue is that we don't have any emotional connection to really care about the fact that they're doing this. Like, sure, we kind of care about Jason. He's a big, lovable oaf, but again, he doesn't really progress through anything in this film. So by the time that we do get this reveal, it's kind of like, like, I get it, but it's not really hitting the way that it should. And again, that might just be on me because at this point, you know, I'm 37. I'm not the age group here that it's being focused on and likely who this is going to ultimately be marketed to. Along with that, though, A lot of the kills in this are really, really enjoyable and creative. I loved when they ended up killing off the goth character and she was like, I've been waiting for this, because she has such a fascination with the occult and death. I thought that was a great laugh. They end up killing the kid who's allergic to nuts by covering a knife in peanut butter and stabbing him. Wolfhard and Burke not only lean into practical effects here, which always make horror films a lot better than what they ultimately can be when we're looking at these effects, but a lot of these kills end up being more enjoyable because of the love that they put into that. I just wish that the motivations were something completely different, because we don't have that connection to the killers or to the victims here. And on top of that, the way that these kills are set up, the killers are brutal, which I always appreciate the fact that the killers are not getting tripped up or beaten up super easily. In a lot of films we see, it's a very even fight. But the problem is that it just doesn't offer a lot of scares. Now, I say that being at the age group that I am. I do think this will likely play very well for the teenage crowd this summer, along with films like Until Dawn or even Clown in a Cornfield. Those are movies that I didn't necessarily think were bad, but I don't think that they appealed to me in my age group the way that I was really, really hoping they would. I think this will actually end up being a big one here on the rental service. The last thing here is the fact that they also add in the obvious teen comedy allegories here. I legitimately think that Wolfhard and Burke, the next project that they work on, should be a raunchy teen comedy, because that is the one thing here in this project that works effortlessly. It is funny as hell, and it's very modern day humor as well too. You know, Finn Wolfhard, for writing and directing, did not make himself the star of it. If anything, he's like the fourth lead in this film, but I like the progressiveness of everything in this. You know, they talk about the fact that he went down on the girl that he's interested rather than she go down on him, and then he proceeds to tell his friend about the percentages here of people whose first experience and how that works out, and he's really done the studies. And it's like, that is totally accurate for 2025 kids these days. And I love that. Wolfhard and Burke really did capture teenagers the way that they absolutely should be. And I feel that with everything being as funny and as well put together with the comedic aspect of this film, they would do a killer job bringing us back to those 80s raunchy comedies that we all love, just a little bit more progressive these days, because as much as we all like love those ones that we're not going to name, you can't do films like that in today's days. You know, you got to change that up a bit. So, Wolfhard and Burke, please give us a teen comedy. It's time for a new American Pie. I don't mean a reboot or a sequel. Give us something like that, though, here for sure. I definitely think that you're going to have a more enjoyable time with a lot more of those classics that I named, or even the recent Fear Street, which is kind of surprising because I didn't like that second entry that much compared to the other two, but I do feel all those films are very obviously a lot stronger here than Hell of a Summer. I don't think Hell of a Summer is bad. I actually had a good time with it. It was enjoyable, but ultimately I only gave it a 2.5 out of 5 because the coming of age aspects did not play out well at all, and then the horror aspects kind of just fell flat for me outside of the really fun and cool kills and practical effects that they offered here. Again, I enjoyed this, but it was not as strong as I ultimately hoped it would be. But I'm curious what y'all thought about this. Hell of a Summer is available to rent or purchase on digital platforms right now. Go and check it out and let me know in the comment section what your thoughts on this one was here. And of course, make sure to get subscribed to my link tree so you have access to my channel and all the horror content I have coming out for y'all. You can do that by going to linktr.ee/T Scary Movie. If you get subscribed, that's going to be access to the YouTube page for the video versions of the show, your favorite podcasting platforms, the audio-only versions of the show, my Letterboxd page for written reviews and movie rankings throughout the year, to my TikTok page for short horror content including movie news, movie premieres, and movie products, to my Twitch page for horror gaming, and my Fangoria shop page where you can enjoy a 20% discount off anything in the Fangoria shop. Take advantage of that, y'all. Hit that subscribe button because we got so much good stuff coming out for you. We're going to be talking Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday here soon in honor of the Friday the 13th holiday. We're going to be talking 28 years later, 28 days later, the rest of season 1 of The Bondsman, more Black Mirror. I got a lot of stuff coming up for y'all that I don't want you to miss at all. So hit that subscribe button. But thank you so much for tuning in. That's going to do it for me here tonight, y'all. My name is T. We've been talking scary movies. Stay scared.